As I'm rubbing my nose.
Good morning and happy totally Monday.
It's Monday and the weather is yucky here. I have to say I went to the beach yesterday and it was a beautiful day, so I was so happy to be there. And while I was there, I got a call from one of our agents, and I picked up the phone. Hi, Todd. You're bothering my beach time. I'm happy to help. I'm here to help at any time.
But this rain is bringing in a fall front
I
from
know.
what I saw. So it'll be like
Oh,
70s, 80s.
yeah, it's supposed to be in the
Wednesday, which will be
70s.
gorgeous.
It's supposed to be in the 70s today, so I'm super excited about that as I'm having a hot flash.
And then we're going to be, so it's beautiful right now. We're probably like normal. But whatever this front is, our
Right.
weekend, it's going to be highs like 63.
Wow.
And so
That's
my
gonna
sister,
be
they're all
awesome.
coming up Friday through Sunday. So Leo and them, they're all four-wheeling. I think there's like 15 people from the Bay coming down or coming up.
Oh, really?
They'll all be four-wheeling, camping, and then there'll be
Really?
like
Oh,
girls
that'll be so
with
much
my
fun.
sister.
Oh, good.
I'm going to do Dollywood for the first time.
Oh, I've always wanted to do Dollywood. That'll be fun. You guys will have a good
It's
time.
like a pumpkin fest, like light show, whatever thing. So stay tuned.
Yeah, very exciting. Very exciting.
Going to the country Disney.
Right? Keep me posted on what it's like because I've always wanted to go. All right, so today we are talking about in today's competitive environment, as you grow, you need systems and connections, and you know, how do you decide when and if you need a team, and how to grow that team. Um, you know, it's funny when I started doing coaching. What year was that? 2011, I think it was, with Tom Ferry, or 2012, and I remember he tweeted something and we were supposed to tweet back, and my question was, you know, how do you know when you need an assistant? And his answer was, if you're asking the question, you need an assistant. You know?
He's always been big, you know, get an assistant before you need one.
Yeah.
And
Well,
really it's always about that mindset of where do you want to be, and you have to be in that mindset of what does that agent look like? What are they doing to be able to get there? So
right. Well, and if you wait till you need one, then
you're too busy to delegate and train and really find the perfect match because you're so desperate and absolutely insane. And
yeah, that's exactly right. So you need to do it when in the growth plan as opposed to in the panic plan, you know.
Right.
So it's have a clear picture of what it is you want, and if you don't have that clear picture, then you need to figure that out, do the research and find out. So if you're evaluating, you know, a potential team member, you need to know the skills and personality that you that phone's ringing, sorry. The skills and personality. Sorry about that. The skills and personality that you need, you know, that works with you, that fits the role that you're looking for. And remember that quality doesn't always come cheap. So don't cheap yourself out of a good person, you know. Um, Whatever that is, whether that's assistants, whether that's a buyer's agent, whatever split you would put them on, whether that's a transaction coordinator. You know, if you want a quality person, um, you got to pay for it. You know, you got to pay for it. It's many years ago, and this has completely unrelated to real estate. But I worked for an attorney, and it was at a point in my life when I needed the income, I needed the job, so I took it. And thankfully, he realized very quickly that my skill level and where I was high above what he was paying, and he quickly compensated and realized, oh wait, she knows what she's doing. I need to pay her for it. You know what I mean? So it's you always have to put the value in the people that you have, or that the people that you're hiring. Yeah. So
and a lot of people within this is, one of my biggest questions I get is wanting like this third party to do their social posts for them. And, looking at the cheap, just the kind of, they'll do syndications, whatever, it's cheap, versus getting a person on your team that does marketing. And when I saw this I thought was perfect, because I feel you're going to get out of social what you put into it. And yes, we don't always have the time to do it like ourselves, but to me, paying more to have somebody who's on marketing that customized posts and really puts in like the way of life and local and stuff like that is going to be so much different reaction than just paying some third party that's posting the same post, real estate generic stuff across the nation, same kind of post. And people don't, they want all these leads or want social to be, like a resource to get those referrals. But if it's a third party posting, you're going to get what you put into it. So if you're paying, $50 a month versus more than that to have somebody who's specifically on your team that's posting pictures of you or your team or, relevant local stuff, you're going to get out of it what you put into it. And if you go the cheap route, don't really expect anything out of it, because you're probably not responding to people that are commenting. That's like somebody saying hi or wanting to shake your hand, and, you just completely ignore them. And that's when I saw that, I was like, that's
so
quality over quantity.
Yeah, that's so true. And it's funny because sometimes I'll see agents that I'm friends with on social media, and I'll see the same post from many agents. It doesn't all happen in the same day,
Right.
but it happens, in multiple days. But it's the same post. Do you like kitchen A or kitchen B? And it's meant to engage people. But when you see it over and over again from agents, who's going to engage with you? And that's the cheap way.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And then typically someone who's doing that isn't really on the social, so they're not even engaging with people who are. I mean, they do create engagement, but if you're not there to respond and engage with those responses, it's pointless. Save your money and just don't do it.
Exactly. So yeah. So then the next is to set standards. Set standards for yourself and set standards for your staff. In exchange for that, obviously, you will get consistent performance. So if they know what's expected of them and what needs to be done, they will consistently work to that. If you don't set standards and it's just kind of willy-nilly out there, then they're not going to. You might get that go-getter that goes above and beyond and goes out there and does, this amazing job. But that's few and far between. You need to
right, which is where that whole standards and having that clear expectation of what you expect from them. What are your duties? What are their duties? What do you not like to do? Find somebody who's strong in that. But I think having those standards and having that that vision and expectations, it'll make it so much clearer for what everyone is supposed to do, so that it becomes that full circle of what everyone's duties are. But only the leader can really do that.
Right. So that's the other reason to not wait until it's panic time, because if you have clear plans and a clear vision and standards for what's expected, and you have that laid out in advance, and there's so many resources out there to help you with that, whatever there's different coaches out there. There's different stuff within our own Elite U where we've posted information on team building, etc. That you can, if you need the help, it's there. You just need to, here's the word of the 21st century. Google that stuff. Yeah. I was on something last week. And it might have been Tom Ferry. And if it wasn't Tom Ferry, it was Gary Vaynerchuk. And it was when he was on Good Morning America. So he was live on Good Morning America. So I was super excited to see that. and somebody asked him a question, and I honestly don't remember what the question was, but his answer was, dude, Google that. Google is, I mean, anything you want is at your fingertips. Yes, Candace, GTS. And if you guys don't know what that means Google that, SHIT. That's what that
Even
means.
my kids know what that means. Google that stuff. Google that stuff because they were pretty young. But yeah, everybody, they know. That's all I'm going to say. And that's from
But I mean, that's
the Tom Ferry sales power stuff.
anything you want to know is at your fingertips. You know, it's and the younger generation, my kids, it's like, oh, don't you want to go here or do this or learn about that? And they're kind of homebodies, which is a little bit annoying to me, but that's okay. But they're like, no, we can find anything we want on the internet. Anything we want to learn, we can find here. So the information is there for you to get. It's funny.
You have the room with the Encyclopedia Britannica, whatever those things were.
We had them on the bookshelf in the living room. My aunt and uncle and our next door neighbors had the exact same.
The sales guys, like they were doing their rounds, but yep, that's what we had.
Yeah. So, and here's the other thing, just about off topic, but again, something that Gary V said on Good Morning America. This guy was talking about, he had just gotten out of school. He was a little bit older, just got out of school, was trying to, get into his career, and what should he do? And Gary's like, well, have you applied to 6 jobs or have you applied to 600 jobs? And Gary's like, because if you've only applied to 6, you're not doing it. You need to apply to 600. So anyway, that's the other thing. And if when you're looking for team members, you might get a lot of applications. I know when we're looking, oops, I spelled Erica's name wrong. Sorry, when I was trying to respond.
Probably Erica.
I know it's you. But even like when we post, if we need somebody for admin for the front desk or for wherever, I mean, we get tons and tons and tons of applications. So there's, you'll find the right person. You just need to do the work to get there. And then here's the next, and this is a big one that we always talk about at Remax Elite. Culture matters. When you're evaluating a candidate, look for the small things, like previous team experience or past successes that can be indicators for future success, and then make sure that they fit into your culture. Mm-hmm. And if you don't know what your culture is, then you need to examine that. What is it? At Remax Elite, it's we all work hard. We work hard and we give back. Those are our big things. Play hard too, but really, work hard and then give back. And we always say family first. So if that's what your culture is within your team, you want to find people that have the same thoughts and goals as you do.
You want to have somebody that's going to strengthen that culture, not the energy sucking vampire or anything like that. And I think when you are meeting with these people, you have to kind of trust that gut instinct that you have to know, like, is this person going to be that good fit? If you're looking for a part-time and that person is really just desperate for any job but really want a full-time, you have to take that into consideration, because if they find something else, they're gone. So yeah. I think by finding someone that fits that culture and the needs for both of you, what are your needs? Is that their strengths that mm-hmm. can make you even better than what you imagined? It's just you have to trust that gut instinct that you have.
Yeah,
sure.
For sure. And then focus on the big things. Prioritize your work-life balance as a way to keep up and to boost morale, and keep your team members engaged and excited about reaching and exceeding goals. It's funny because I think sometimes we happen upon really great team members or employees or We have a team here whose assistant. I texted the team leader on Friday and I said, I want to be on your team just so I can have, and I said who the assistant was, and golly, I don't know if it was luck or hard work. I don't even know how they found this assistant, but she's amazing. I think she's probably 5 steps ahead of everybody else and gets everything done. And, it's like sometimes it just happens and you're super lucky and you won't ever find another one like that. We've had some people here that are that way. And sometimes it works into that. You know what I mean? It may not start that way, but because you're providing whatever it is, uh, making people feel appreciated,
I
paying
think
them.
that's huge. Keeping them engaged, having goals set for like the entire team or whatnot. I think that helps. We're all kind of competitive in nature. So I think having that like end goal of, what you're trying to do, I think that helps keep everyone engaged, and having meetings. You have to have meetings. You have to have clear expectations, the goals, what are you looking to accomplish, and having everyone involved and feeling a part. Like no matter where you're at in a team, that the office, anything like that, I believe having everyone involved to feel like they're a part of it, because we are, it's like a puzzle.
Yeah.
And you need all these pieces to make everything work, but you have to make everyone feel appreciated in what that puzzle is that they're, completing the full picture. So to me,
Yeah, that's huge. I feel like that's huge, and that's a struggle. I always need to work on doing that with our team because since we used to have monthly meetings, and then COVID happened, and then it's just hard. It's hard. I need to get back into doing that so that everybody knows. I try to always make sure people know that they're appreciated or when they've done something great, but that is huge in keeping your team members happy and engaged and wanting to do better and wanting to do more.
Yeah, it is hard, and it's something I think all the leaders, it's sometimes you just don't think about it, or you're in that daily grind, so it's hard to set that time apart to do all that. But I feel it's super important because you want everyone to feel appreciated in what they're doing to make everything successful. So
yeah. So as you're looking to grow, make sure you have a clear picture of what that looks like. Make sure you're setting standards for yourself, even if you don't have a team, for yourself or for your team. Make sure that you know what your culture is and that you're engaging the people that you're working with into that culture and making them feel a part of it. And then focus on the big things, the big picture. You need to keep everybody happy so that the ball keeps rolling, in the right direction without needing too much nudging. Yeah.
And finding out what your weakness is, as a leader, to know what, there's always ways to improve on everything that we do. So
that's a good point. That's a good point. What are your weaknesses, and can you improve on that? Or if you can't, find someone who does it for you.
I mean, that was the great thing. And I wish you would have gone and maybe if we ever get back to R4 to do the Zappos tour. When Tony Hsieh was a keynote, I don't even know how many years ago.
I remember when you came back from that, actually. I remember.
It was all about the whole culture and, the customer service. It's all about the customer service experience. It was something that's totally different than like when I had worked at a call center or anything like that. It was always to get everybody on and off, buying the most amount of things as quickly as possible. Whereas Zappos, it was keeping the employees so happy and creating a culture that basically from the top all the way down, creating that experience, because that'll flow down to the consumer. Well, and you get awards for the most amount of time you're on the phone with somebody. And I think 8 hours, like a full workday, was their record, because they watched all these movies to find the right shoes for a wedding or whatever.
Right.
But it was just such an amazing outlook. it was completely different than anything that I had ever really been brought up in. And when I did not work at a call center very long, I think I just called the same number who didn't answer it. Go home and never come back. But I mean, it's great. They train everybody on every single position because, I mean, Tony Shea will be answering the phones during Christmas, and then they offer to pay you money to leave the company after your 90 days. It was just, I mean, people are there because they absolutely want to be there. And I think that's just such, I mean, it was a free tour. If you're ever in Vegas, to be able to tour that or read his book, Happiness Something, I'm sure it's behind me somewhere, but what an incredible book and a different outlook. And definitely it's all about that culture and creating the consumer experience, but that all flows from the top and the leadership.
Well, and so when we're talking about, you know, keeping your client or happy, how did you say that again? Because the experience as a team leader, we're not necessarily talking about your clients that are buying houses. We're talking about the people that are working for you.
Because if they're happy, it just flows through. That energy will flow through. If somebody's not happy with what they're doing, they're probably distracted because they're looking for somewhere else to work or whatever. Right. So I think from the top down, I mean, you can't really hide that kind of energy and passion when you believe in something and you're a part of something bigger. And I think that just flows straight from the top.
Yep. I think you're right. Which is a good reminder because I came in this morning feeling a little, I don't know if it's because of the weather, it's yucky outside or just tired or, you know, we're over this whole pandemic and it's wearing on me, you know, and hopefully, you know, I don't know. But so weekly activity, each day give someone around you a compliment for something that they do and make it be genuine. Don't just do it because we're telling you to give compliments. I mean, it has to be genuine. If they try to shrug it off, remind them that they are deserving and worthy of the compliment. And you know, thank you is good enough. And the opposite way, when somebody gives you a compliment, same thing, say thank you. You know, hear the compliment, receive it, say thank you, and have it make.
I'm horrible with that. Oh. And I love watching Jess. We could be going to a drive-through or we go out to eat and she compliments the waitress, the person at the window, on their hair, their nails. Like, I mean, she always does that. And I just admire that so much because it is like genuine. It just comes out of nowhere. And she's been doing this since she was a little girl. Now she's 17. She still does that. And it just makes people feel good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I wish I could do more of that. I know I'm horrible when someone, I mean, I just get embarrassed, like, stop, like, enough, like, don't do it. Like,
right.
And that goes with like the words of wisdom is really, it's the random acts of kindness. It's the unexpected that people are going to remember the most. So just always think of the little things, you know, it's always about kind of exceeding expectations and doing just the little things that people don't always do, keeping the door open or, you know, whether it is a compliment or anything like that, just the little things. It's just people remember that. So that's kind of the weekly words of wisdom.
Yes, exactly. So that's it. So here's the thing. If you're thinking you might need to grow and you might need a team, start putting that plan on paper now. And
yeah, I mean, and it's not even something that could be, you need it in 3 months or by January. It could be, you could be newer and know that that's your 5-year goal and really just start writing out that plan. What would that look like? What are your weaknesses? What does somebody else have that, you know, what kind of a teammate do you need to make everything, you know, stronger? And what do you hate doing? What is like the least, you know, the whole, you know, you've got your contract management system or, you know, the newsletters or whatever it is. What do you not like to do? Because that's what you would delegate to somebody who that is their strength. And you could be working on this plan. It could be a 5-year goal.
Yep.
You could always just have that in your notes. Like, what kind of person would make that full circle to make you stronger as a team and whatnot. So I think
Exactly.
there's always a time to add to what that wish and goal was. And that kind of goes right with, leading into next week, we start with our business planning, which seems so crazy that we're
there already. I know. I can't believe it. It's the end. I mean, it's the end of the year. I mean, what's interesting
holidays and
I think the stores have started their Christmas stuff later than normal, actually, or maybe it's earlier, but
it's always right about Halloween. But I'm almost excited to get Christmas up because that just means this year's closer to being over.
Exactly.
I'm ready for that. But yeah, so next week we have that, and that is where this I thought was a great kind of lead up to what is your 1 year, your 5 year, your 10-year goal, and how can we help you put that all together. So make sure to sign up. We'll put the link for next week. So that'll be exciting. So we have a busy week because we have to finish putting all of this together since it's the first time.
I do want people to have hard copy books, so we were going to get that together. So if you do sign up, you'll get a hard copy of the business planning in the mail from us, or you'll get a digital one. So yes, okay.
So we have a lot to do. So I need you to wake up, kick ass, repeat until next week. And of course, if you have any questions, you know how to comment and reach us. And I think that's it. So until next week.
See you next week.